Thor and the Unbreakable Stone. In the days when the worlds were young, and the roots of Yggdrasil still trembled with new growth, there came a season of long storms over Midgard. The thunder did not roll once and pass. It lingered. Clouds pressed low over the hills. The sea rose and fell without rest. The earth seemed to hold its breath. Men in their halls spoke the name of Thor with confidence, as they always had. For he holds the hammer, they said, and no storm stands where he walks. And Thor did walk. He crossed the sky in his chariot, drawn by goats whose hooves struck sparks from cloud and wind. Mjolnir rested at his side, heavy and certain. Yet, even as he rode, he felt something unfamiliar. Not fear, but doubt. For the storms did not scatter at his passing. They gathered again. Lightning leapt from his hammer, yet the thunder answered as if from somewhere deeper than his own hand. Thor frowned. He did not speak of it in Asgard. He did not ask counsel of Odin. He descended alone to Midgard, following the path of the storm to its source. At the edge of a fjord, behind a cliff of black stone, he found it. There stood a boulder, larger than any hall. It rose from the earth as though it had grown there. No crack marked its surface. No moss clung to its sides. It was smooth, dark, silent. From it came a low rumbling, not loud, but steady, as though something within it shifted slowly against its will. Thor approached. He struck the stone once with Mjolnir. The sound rang across the fjord. Birds rose from the cliffs. The sea shuddered. But the stone did not break. Thor struck it again, harder. The hammer split mountains. It felled giants. It shaped valleys, yet the stone remained whole. The rumbling within it deepened. Thor stepped back. He had broken skulls of frost giants with less effort. He had shattered gates forged in fire. Yet this stone did not yield. A fisherman watched from his boat below. You strike it as though it were your enemy, the fisherman called. Thor did not turn. It stands against the storm, he said. It stands against you, the fisherman replied calmly. Thor lowered the hammer slightly. The fisherman rowed closer to shore. It has stood there longer than my father's father, the man said. We do not strike it. Why not? Thor asked. It does not move, the fisherman said. It only stands. Thor studied the stone again. He felt the tremor within it. Not violent, not raging, slow, patient. He raised Mjolnir once more, but this time he did not swing. Instead, he rested the hammer against the stone. He closed his eyes. The rumbling beneath the surface was not defiance. It was strain. The earth beneath the ford was shifting. Deep below, the roots of the world tree pressed against the buried rock. The stone did not cause the storm. It endured it. Thor opened his eyes. He stepped aside. He placed his hands against the boulder and pushed, not to break it, but to move it. At first, nothing happened. The fisherman watched in silence. Thor planted his feet in the wet earth. He leaned forward, not in anger, not in fury, but in effort. The stone did not resist. It only waited. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, it shifted. A crack formed at its base, not from the hammer, but from pressure released. Water burst from the earth where the stone had stood. A hidden spring, long trapped, rushed towards the fjord. The low rumbling ceased. The clouds above thinned. The storm did not vanish at once. It softened. Thor stepped back. The boulder now rested slightly to one side. The spring flowed steadily past it. The fisherman nodded. You are strong, he said. Thor lifted Mjolnir and weighed it in his hand. Yes, he answered. But his voice held no boast. He had believed strength meant striking. He had believed force alone shaped the world. Yet the stone had not needed breaking. It had needed moving. Thor returned to Asgard without announcement. When Odin asked nothing, Thor said nothing. But when the next storm rose, as storms always do, Thor did not rush to meet it with fury. He listened first. He felt the ground beneath it. He trusted not only the hammer in his hand, but the strength in his stance. And so the people of Midgard continued to speak his name, not only as the breaker of giants, but as the one who stood firm when the earth itself trembled. For strength is not always the force that shatters. Sometimes it is the quiet certainty that knows when to strike and when to stand.